I'm Peter Graves, and you're watching Biography here on A&E. You know, as we look back on the 20th century at those individuals who so shaped our lives, one man comes to mind. That's why we're here at New York City's Comic Strip Live to honor Lucien Hold, a man whose mere name conjures up images of greatness, heroism, patriotism, and even controversy. Strangely though, our hero of the century had very humble beginnings. Born the son of Irish goat herders, he was raised in a log cabin on Manhattan's Upper West Side. He was a precocious child. He began talking when he was only 4 months old, and by the age of 3, he was a self-proclaimed genius.
Oh, Lucien, he was a dear boy. But, you know, during show and tell, it was all tell and tell and tell and tell. And oh yes, he used to go around grading the other children. And, and he would never take off his mittens. Yes. I remember it like it was yesterday.
His parents read to him continuously and also had tutors to try and help him. They were afraid to send him to school until he was about 11 or 12 years old because they would be embarrassed that he would be ridiculed by his classmates.
In high school, Lucien was quite the socialite. He cultured himself by becoming involved in numerous extracurricular activities. He was a member of the chess club, the badminton club. He was a member of the cheerleading squad, and he even joined the glee club, but was kicked out for being a lousy singer. He was also the star member of the high school debate team. In fact, he was the only member. And during his senior year, he won the state regionals by debating himself. Lucien's classmates voted him most likely to critique.
Lucien was a great guy, classy dresser, picked you up on time every night, great dinners, the best dancer. I miss Lucien, you know. We had some great times until I got knocked up, and he dropped me off at the clinic real quick without any money. Oh, Paula, you can take care of yourself. What the fuck is that?
On December 7th, 1941, the day the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, Lucien, due to his combative nature, immediately enlisted for combat and joined the Marines.
He used to call himself the best damned ass kicker in the United States Army.
Lucien never really saw the front lines, but would critique the men as they returned from battle.
You never knew what he was going to say, and sometimes never knew what he was going to do next. He was impulsive and impetuous. He wore his opinions on his sleeve, and he had opinions on everything under the sun.
It was not before long that young Lucien would rise quickly through the ranks to become the nation's youngest three-star general. In fact, years later, a film would be made based on his heroic exploits. Charlton Heston played the young Lucien, and in 1970, the film earned the Academy Award for Best Picture.
You're a very good man, Lucien. But you want to guard against being too conservative. Remember what Frederick the Great said. L'audace, l'audace, toujours l'audace.
What the fuck does that mean?
If anything happens to those men, I'd like to be there with them.
Especially if they're getting laid.
Well, you're not going, so forget about it.
In 1959, Lucien was selected among an elite bunch of heroic young military men to serve as one of NASA's original 7 Mercury astronauts. Lucien's success in the space program earned him the coveted commander's seat on Apollo 11, and on July 20th, 1969, the whole country stood still to watch Lucien become the first man to step foot on the moon as he uttered those unforgettable words.
Hey Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Lucien's overwhelming success as a national hero began to take its toll on his marriage.
The way she coped was to frequently go home to visit her parents, to take breaks away from this strange alien life that she'd been thrust into. Yet at the same time, she was determined to tough it out.
He was such an unusual man, and he was such a creature of habit. He did the same thing all the time. He was very consistent, and I grew up with so much inconsistency and he was very offhand with me and cold and removed, and I found this very attractive.
In order to save his failing marriage, Lucien reluctantly forfeited his illustrious life of grandeur and settled down to a life among the peasants. He took a simple management position far below that of a man of his stature at a then obscure comedy nightclub in New York City. It was not before long, though, that our beloved hero would establish himself as a respected figure in the world of stand-up comedy.
Let me see. I met Lucien in I think it was like 84, 80, 82, something like that. I can't really remember. It was a long time ago. I had auditioned for the club, and Lucien came to me like, Chris, we have our black act for the club. We met our black quota, and I was like, what type of cracker shit is that, Lucien? That's some cracker shit, ain't it?
Lucien? Oh, right, the guy that goes out with that broad Vanessa. Wait a second. Hey, girls, what is this, a staring contest? Get in there, spill some drinks. Skinny guy, right? Wears gloves. Hey, what did I say? Get in there. He books the talent here. What am I paying him for? Greg, you could book the room, right? Are we almost done? I gotta go to church.
Yeah, no, Lucien is like, hey guys, come on. I can't do this when people are talking. Guys, shut up. I'm doing this for A&E. Lucien, he's got 2 minutes left. Just let me do it real fast.
Hey. Well, Lucien, he's dating Vanessa, and what can I tell you? I got a Hyundai.
Can I get 2 mangoes? Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind.
I booked Letterman.
Go ahead.
Okay. Lucien, all right.
These days, Lucien has enjoyed a stunning return to national prominence. He is consistently asked to give lectures and make public appearances. In fact, a few years ago, Lucien's testimony was summoned during the O.J. Simpson trial as an expert witness on gloves. Earlier this year, Lucien published his autobiography, which is still #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. In fact, it's reported that famed director-producer Oliver Stone is scheduling to make a film of our illustrious hero, starring Jim Carrey, and entitled Man on the Moon. Tomorrow night, Heroes of the Century Week continues with Tim Davis, a man whose humble beginnings as a New York City cab driver ultimately led to him becoming one of the world's wealthiest entrepreneurs and Nobel Peace Prize winners. That's tomorrow. Until then, I'm Peter Graves for Biography. Thank you for watching. Good night.